Hey guys, it's Eric at SideQuest Comics, and today, in honor of Mutant Monday and sorting through some of my stacks, I have some X-Men comics to look at today. And a little bit of update. I have a quest update too. But yeah, I've been sorting through some of my piles and rebagging and boarding and putting some books away, and I came across some X-Men books that I got. Some of these I got back at Comic-Con back in August. So we're talking there's Fan Fest here in Chicago, the Comic-Con. And I got some comics from some of the dealers there, and they never got sorted and put away. They got added to a stack and, of course, forgotten about. And like I said, I have an update. I'm going to jump right into my quest update here. One of the things I started doing when I got back into comics a couple years ago is I wanted to finish off these X-Men runs. So a couple of the titles that I got into were those ones that I started with back in the 80s and 90s, the newer X-Men titles. And one of the ones that I jumped into was Ultimate X-Men. So I finished off, this was a quest completion. I finished off the Ultimate X-Men. I needed just a couple more issues. I found some in my 10 for $10 dives, but I needed this one, number 92, to finish off the run. It was a 100-issue run. This came out, I think, 2007. I think the whole Ultimate X-Men run was in the 2000s. So this finishes off Ultimate X-Men for me, and they are actually bringing back this Ultimate Universe in the recent comics. So you may want to check that out, see if it's similar to this one. It's kind of they've changed it where it's a different universe, so the characters are a little bit different. It's a different take on the characters we know. But yeah, this finishes off the run. And then I also finished off some, I like to call it adjective-less X-Men. It was the X-Men series that Chris Claremont and Jim Lee started back in the 90s. So this is X-Men Volume 1. I had these couple issues to finish this run. And this first one here is from 96. It's what issue was this? This was 53 with a classic Andy Kubert cover on it. And this one I've been hunting for a while. I kept seeing it, but the prices were a little bit higher than I wanted to pay for. I actually found this in my local comic store, Jay's Comics. And this actually is the first full appearance of Onslaught. Now, if you guys don't know who Onslaught was, he was how do you describe it? He was a villain that was a combination of Professor X and Magneto. So he ranked up there as one of the big bads for them. I don't think he's been really seen. I mean, they played around with him a little bit in the modern comics, but they haven't really done much with Onslaught since the 90s. But yeah, like I said, this was one I needed to finish that run. And then also a little bit later in the run, this is 185 X-Men. This was 2006. This came out. This one is known for Gambit becoming Death, the Horseman of Apocalypse. So this one was harder to find. I guess, it's a minor key, but the fact that, Gambit, they really kind of started messing with his character a little bit at this time. So I needed that one. And also to finish the run for me, issue 205. This came out in, 2007 is when this one came out. This was kind of towards the end of Volume 1's run. And this one was the first cameo appearance of Hope Summers. So this is when they were doing the whole Mesa Complex storyline with Hope Summers and Cable and stuff like that. So yeah, I needed this one. I love this art. Mr. Sinister looking very, very sinister. So yeah, that was a kind of a little goal that I got complete. It's a quest done. I still have to finish off, it's kind of weird. So X-Men, it's X-Men Legacy Volume 1. It gets grouped with this X-Men because it keeps the same numbering, but it's its own volume. So it's a little confusing when you're collecting X-Men out there at that time period. So I'm happy to have some quests complete. Okay, now to the meat of what I want to do with this Mutant Monday. I mean, those couple that I completed a quest was a quick add-on because I actually just got those like 2 days ago type of thing. But this one's been planned for a while, sorting through and putting away, like I said, some of my X-Men. I found, a stack, and I would just go through them, show them off type of thing. Now, some of these I'll probably do upgrades eventually, but they were kind of run fillers. And eventually I am going to be hunting more of these down, but let's jump into it. I'm going to start with the oldest and work my way up. So this one is number 21, X-Men. This is a really old one. Now you can see it's kind of loved. It's got some issues with it. Now I got this off of a buddy that isn't really an X-Men collector, and he gave me a pretty good price on them. I figured I can always upgrade these. But yeah, this came out in 1966. This is a villain that I don't know if I've seen him in the modern age. Lucifer with his Dominus robot. And this was written by Roy Thomas, and art is by Werner Roth. So this is one of those fillers, number 21. So this is way back. When I finish off my Chris Claremont run, I'm going to start getting these under 100 issues. Actually, this would be under 66 issues. And I have a lot of sprinkled here and there, so it might not take me too long. The ones that will be hard will be the 20 and under. I have a couple. So next up, I have another old one. This is number 45 X-Men, featuring the sense-shattering Cyclops fighting Quicksilver there. This came out in 1968. There's actually 2 stories in this issue. And the writer is Gary Frederick, and the cover is John Buscema with Don Heck with interiors in it. So another old one that I kind of wanted to get. It does fill, I think, a run for me. I have some of the 40s, and this fills a gap for me. And next up, I have another old one. So like I said, I get these here and there. It wasn't super expensive. This is number 61 from 1969. And this is Roy Thomas again writing this with Neil Adams art. So if you guys are Neil Adams fans, this is kind of some classic art. And this is the second appearance of Sauron. I need to find his first one, which is, just before this. Usually when I see it, it's either beat up too much for me or the price is a little high. I can't find that happy medium yet. This one was a very happy medium. I think I paid, I paid under $30 for this. And it's a very good, like I said, this one has some issues. It's got some folds there. The spines, type of thing. But I just wanted to get it in the collection. I can always upgrade later, right? Okay, now we're moving into the Chris Claremont era. Now, this one, like I said, I got this one back in the Comic-Con in August. I am down to needing 2 more for Claremont's run. I need 109, which is Vindicator's first appearance from Alpha Flight. And I need, I think it's 112. And then I have all of Claremont's stuff. And like I said, then I can start concentrating on those old 60s books. But this was one of the ones that I picked up that I needed. It took me a while to find one that I really liked. I wanted to get a nicer copy of this one with Jean Grey as Phoenix on it. This was shortly after she became Phoenix. This is from 105, 1977. Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum did the art on this one. And it's the first full appearance of Lilandra, who later becomes Charles Xavier's, woman and da-da-da-da-da-da. So yeah, this was when they started getting into the Starjammers and space and all that kind of stuff. So, and then next up, I found this in the local comic store for pretty cheap. I think I paid like $10 for this. This is number 113 of X-Men, now on sale monthly. 1978 is when this came out. Chris Claremont and art by John Byrne. And this one boasts, it's the first time we get to see the full team on the cover. Battling Magneto in his lair. So yeah, it's kind of a important cover to see a full team action shot like that. Now if I can just find those couple that are just before this. moving along, we're starting to get into the modern stuff. Now, these couple modern ones were what filled up a gap that I had with Uncanny X-Men. And like once I find those two Claremont ones, I'll have a straight run all the way to the end. Now this one is $4.50. This is I love the art on this. This is Alan Davis art, and actually this is Chris Claremont returning to the title for a while. He actually, not with this issue, but in 444 to 471, he wrote some of the books for them. And this is 2004, so we did a big jump from the 70s. And this is the first appearance of X-23. You can see her claws right there, and you can see her dad right there squaring down. First appearance of X-23 in an X-Men title. So yeah, this one took me a while to find. I had the issues around this for a while. I think I picked them up for a decent price. And this one, surprisingly, wasn't that bad either. $5 I think I paid for this one. But it was one I needed to fill the run. All right, and then finishing off my Uncanny X-Men. This kind of makes me sad a little bit because this is towards the end of Uncanny's Volume 1 run. This was 542. This was during the Fear Itself storyline. Let me get that glare out of there. From 2011. This was Karen Gillan and Greg Land did the art on this. Cool cover with Colossus and his sister and Kitty Pryde there. And the key for this one was Colossus actually becomes the Juggernaut. He gets the Juggernaut's power in the storyline. And like I said, this was towards the end of the run, so it took me a while to find one that wasn't overpriced, I guess I'd call it. And then right after this one, we have 543, where we actually get to see the Juggernaut Colossus on the cover. So this was 543, 2011. This one was released also. Karen Gillan again and Greg Land. And yeah, this actually we get to see Colossus with the actual powers. And I think they carried this over into one of the other titles at that time. And then sadly, this is the final issue of Uncanny X-Men, 544. Kind of a neat little nod to the original, X-Men there. 2011, Karen Gillan again, and Greg Land. This was the final issue of the run, but of course, we did see more volumes of the X-Men. It was just, I think in this modern age, these titles do not run like they used to back in the day. I mean, this 544 issues for Uncanny X-Men from the 60s all the way up, that's a lot of comics. So, yeah, this was one of those ones I just kept putting off getting. And then finally I was just like, okay, I'll get this. I got to get it. It's the end of the run, right? So final issue of Uncanny X-Men. And yeah, there's some comics for you for Mutant Monday. Well, that's what I got for you guys for Mutant Monday. Is me sorting through my collection again and sorting them and putting them away and kind of just revisiting ones that I picked up. And it's like, oh yeah. And I mean, some recent pickups, like, I finished off some Quest here for Ultimate X-Men and Adjectiveless X-Men. And then, yeah, I just want to show off some of these old ones that I got. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys like of the X-Men. Do you like the old original 60s era? Do you like the 70s era? Or maybe you like the more modern stuff, the stuff from the 2000s. Let me know down below. What quest are you working on? I mean, are you working on these kind of quests where you're finishing them off? This is just recent. I mean, like days ago, I finished these off. So it's always great to finish off these runs of these comics. So I wanted to share those ones. I threw them in. I shoehorned them in on the other Mutant Monday X-Men that I wanted to show off. But let me know down below, you guys. And please remember to give me a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, and, of course, comment down there. And please visit me over on Instagram. You can check out my weekly posts that I do there, whether it's videos for my pickups from New Comic Book Day Wednesdays, or maybe it's a Friday first. So, well, until next time, guys, whether you're completing quests out there and completing runs, or if you're just revisiting some of your stacks while you're sorting and putting them away, happy questing, and we'll talk to you next time.